Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, we're going to be starting a new series on the book of Daniel. If you've never read it, it's a fascinating, compelling story. And so that's going to happen this Sunday. But today, I want to share something out of the first chapter of Daniel. So Daniel was taken off into captivity. He was probably 15, 16, 17 years old. And we'll get more backstory for you on Sunday. But I mean, Babylon came in and took over Israel, Jerusalem, ransacked it, stole everything from the temple, and then took some of the people they thought were the brightest and brought them and tried to develop them. And that was Daniel. He and some of his friends were like in this inner court. And in the process, they were going to have to learn language, and they're having their culture kind of taken away from them, and all these different things. And here he is in this foreign land. It's like everything has gone wrong. We don't have any mention of his parents. We don't know a lot of the backstory. Try to put yourself in his shoes. Man, God must have turned his back on me, and here I am in Babylon, the last place on planet Earth he wants to be. And while he's there, he's being trained, so they're kind of taking good care of him. But then they say, we want you to eat at the king's table. Well, I would probably be like, whoa, that's like going to one of these South American churrascarias, you know? It's like, you're getting the best of the best of the best. Bring it on. I like all kinds of ethnic food, except one. There's only one. I won't mention what it is. Pretty much like everything. I'm an omnivore. But Daniel says, chapter 1, verse 8 says, but Daniel resolved that he would not defile himself with the king's food or with the wine that he drank. He says, and then the guy's like, well, wait a minute, then you're going to be sickly and the king's going to want my head. He goes, just give us a little time with this, a little test, okay? And see how we're doing. Well, turns out that they did great. But is that what you would have done? I mean, wouldn't you think like that's just kind of like youthful indiscretion or something? And the other thing is, well, it's just a little thing, right? You know, in life, there really are no little things. It's the little decisions that we make that make a big difference. I'm getting a lot of this from James Montgomery Boyce in his book, Come to the Waters. But I think he's got some good stuff here. Kind of like he could have been thinking, well, after all, why should we live by Jewish dietary laws while in Babylon? Let's eat and drink. It's just a small thing. But life is made up of small things. And it's small matters that leads to great victories. That's how they're won. That's the point. And if Daniel had said, I want to live for God in big ways, but I'm not going to make a fool out of myself in this foreign culture. I want God to use me in these big ways, so I'll go with the flow. Had he done that, we probably wouldn't know the name of Daniel. Think about that. If he had thought, I want to be used in big ways, and ignored the small things, he probably wouldn't have been used. See, it's small things that make a difference. Most young people, I think, really want to make a difference with their lives. They want their lives to count. So I don't know if you're a young person today, and we can define that any way we want. You might be 73 and say, you know what, I'm a young person. I hope whatever age you are, you want your life to count, and that you want your life to count for God. But young people dream, they dream big, and they should dream big. It's what they should do. They should be, maybe even sometimes unrealistic. But sometimes youth are impatient, sometimes not as disciplined as we can grow to be. And sometimes they're tempted to put aside the little things, thinking they're not important. But if you want to be God's man, you want to be God's woman, the small things, the little things really do matter. And so don't let those things go. Jesus put it this way, one who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much. And one who is dishonest in a very little is also dishonest in much. Give all of yourself to God and don't overlook the small things. If it wasn't for that, we probably wouldn't have the book of Daniel. God bless you. Have a great week.